Right, so today we have the 5 PMZ Herm crossed rainbows. These were the 5 seeds that came up out of the 11 or 12 seeds that was there total. Nothing else died. 5 came up, 7 didn't. So these are the 5 that we've got. Now these have been going pretty well in these little pots in the Playground light mix. Now this is the light mix, not to be confused with the all mix. So it's got pink. So the Playground light mix has actually been way stronger than the other soils that I was using. These have only just had light mix and just water, so they've had no nutrients at all, and they're really green, really healthy, but you can see they're a little bit drooped because these are pretty dry right now, and these are drinking up pretty fast as well, so we need to get these into bigger pots. Today we're going to put them in the 11 litre pots, and we're going to use the Playground all mix. So we're going to send these into the big tent and we'll let them stretch out a bit, and then we can take these 2 top heads here as clones. And once we get the 2 clones from each plant, we'll then have 10 clones to back it up. So once we flip these to flower, we'll see and we'll know exactly which ones are females, and then we'll get rid of all the other ones. If they're all females, then I guess we'll just have to do a little 5 plant pheno hunt. Hopefully they're all females. If there is any males or any hermaphrodites in there, we'll have to pull them out straight away. But this is the next stage, so we'll replant these, we'll get these into the big tent, and we'll see how it's getting on. The plants in the big tent are doing all right. We've got 3 upstairs, so we'll put them also into the 11 litre pots. Those plants have been really hot up there. I've had to turn the light down to 50%, but they seem to be doing okay. They're just very dry and very hot, so we need to make sure we get them in the right pots, the right substrate, and water them at the right amount of time. So let's do it. Let's crack on with the day. 5 pots, 5 new plants. Let's go. What I've done first is I've decided to use the Playground light mix up until about halfway. So it's a little dusting of light mix on top just to receive these plants so that they don't go straight into really strong soil. So a little bit of light mix on top, then when the roots get a little bit more mature, they'll figure their way down and they'll go into the all mix. And that way you can get a little bit of a booster. I don't want to burn the roots off straight away with this all mix. I've never used it before, it could be really strong. So I just decided to put a little bit of light mix on top to receive the roots, and then they'll work their way down into the all mix. And there we go. There's the first one of the 5 with a combination of light mix and all mix. And let's get the next 4 done. Right, and there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unknown strains ready to go. Right, so it's day 11 of drying the harvest, but I've got some bad news, guys. I've already done in one entire plant just as we was waiting for it to dry. So you're like, oh yeah, I'll just try one bud, day 5 drying, day 6, day 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And this is what we've got. So luckily we've still got 2 more plants left, but just letting you know, guys, that there will be no weigh-in because I've already blitzed an entire plant while I'm waiting for the other ones to dry. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great smoke. Definitely got you high, but at the same time it just kind of, you know, it is a little bit green, a little bit damp, like when you was buying bud when you was a child, when you was 15, 16 years old kind of stuff. But it is what it is, you know. I either go out and buy some more or I just light up what I've got. So that's what we've done there, boys. There's no weigh-in for one of the PMZs because I've actually blazed it. This is the last joint of that tree. Adios. Right, fam, so it's the 3rd of August. That's just over a 14-day dry. But I do have a confession to make. I've been chipping into these plants. This one's fell off. But I've been chipping into these plants for the last 9 days. It was really hot in here and the buds started to feel a bit crispy around day 5. So I ended up blazing a whole plant, well, 1.5 plants while it was drying. If I can show you now. Look, guys, you know how it is. So I didn't have any dry harvest left. And then when this went up and it started feeling dry after day 5, I was just kicking right into that. So obviously you're meant to dry it for 14 days, you're meant to cure it, but yo, it's the peak of summer, it's bone dry, and I didn't have any smoke, so I chipped into it. So I don't think on this grow, guys, we're going to get much of a final weigh-in, because after the whole grow, this is all I've got left. But so what? I'm not really bothered. So we'll flip the other plants to flower in a week or 2, and then in around obviously 9 weeks we'll have some more. So this is all we've got left of the dry. This is the 14-day dry. This is the Queen of the South. This is the PMZ, and that was another plant of PMZ. But yeah, just blazed. It's all blazed, it's all gone. So we're going to trim this up today. This one's got a nice dry on it. Everything's a bit crispy. Branches are snapping here and there in a crack. So it's all good. And then yeah, we'll try and get this cured. But at the rate I'm going, to be honest, it's going to be in a jar for around 5 days. I'm obviously going to finish this one. I'm saving this one. This had the bigger buds. But obviously, as you can see, I have chipped away at it and had a few nugs over the past week or 2. The same with this one as well. You can see I've just took all the inside nugs off it, that whole branch. And that's the way it goes in the home grow. I live at the top of a hill in Spain. I could go down to the club, I could call my mate and go and get some more, but it's the peak of summer, I'm really busy with work and stuff, so I'm just going to absolutely tuck into the crop. Say what you want in the comments. Do you blaze your buds early? Does anyone have a cheeky little nug before the 14-day dry? I know you're all going to sit there with your arms crossed and go, oh no, I leave it for 14 days and a 1-month cure. And maybe you do, if you've got about 15, 20 plants, but I only grow 3 or 4 or 5 plants here, something like that. So, you know, I want to have a consistent yield. Might not always be the best, but honestly, guys, I'll tell you, right, I was blazing that bud and it was pretty much wet on day 5, day 6. This one, to be exact, the PMZ. But obviously, yeah, the taste wasn't quite there. The smell was there when you was grinding it up, but it just reminded me of bud that you get back in the day. Classic English weed in the 90s and the 2000s. You know, that's all we got. But there's some nice crystals on here. Everything's good. It smells stinky. It's got that Skittlesy kind of permanent marker jealousy kind of smell. But yeah, PMZ is a banger. Queen of the South. This one, for some reason, I think I cut this down a little bit too early, to be honest. I didn't give it long enough for the Tropicana cherry smell to come through. So really, we've just got like a bit of a kind of very kind of strong, hazy kind of smell. Definitely cut it off a bit early, but it is what it is. It's nice and crispy still, so we'll get that trimmed up today. But I just wanted to let everybody know that and that is all I've got left of this harvest. Boom, boom, it's all gone. But this makes sense, because this is what happens when you chip away at it when you're meant to let it dry. Learn from my mistake. So I don't think this is going to take much time. It's only a few little buds, but I've got some scissors there, got some isopropyl alcohol as well, so we'll clean all the tips. Fill that up a little bit. Isopropyl is really good for cleaning your scissors for the resin. Just leave them dipping in there, soak them in. Second one. So just leave them in there for a few minutes, sloshing around, make sure we get all them clean. Best way really, otherwise these scissors can get really sticky and starts ripping off branches and stuff, and it's not great. So what we want to do, soak that, and then shot here. This will do. I should get the AC Infinity trim tray out, to be honest, but it's just not a lot. Normally I'd be doing 3 or 4 plants like this right now, and you know, trying to put a movie on or something just to kill the time, but it's not necessary for this. Get the first scissors out. There's a little wipe. That straight away, no resin, proper clean. It's just what you want. This will sharpen your scissors as well. Let's go. No way! Oh, for So we just spill isopropyl alcohol all over these buds. Wowzers. Right, so let's get all this stuff trimmed one by one. Let's go. Right, so after that monumental disaster, pouring isopropyl alcohol all over the buds, it wasn't all over them, it was just over a few, but still, you set the camera up and you try and do it all nice, and then BAM! You spill alcohol everywhere. Never mind. Here is the final Queen of the South trimmed. Also, the phone camera got too hot and the light switched off. I didn't know why, so I just had to pause the camera. It's 30 odd degrees in here, and I think with the light off while I'm filming 4K, it's spanking the battery and the heat. So this is what we've got left. This will now go into a jar, and we'll cure this for the next week or two. I'm going to trim off the rest of these ones as well, so we'll see how that turns out. But really, it's about these ones. These are the ones that turned out nicely. They smell good, they look good. Just need to cure them off a little bit now and give them the actual treatment that they deserve post-harvest. We want to bring out that smell the best as we can. We don't want to be smoking, you know, standard grassy, lemony at best. You know, we want to try and bring out the actual flavors of these exotic profiles. So this is #1 Stunner crossed with Tropicana Cherry. So let's get that into a jar. We'll cure that for the next week or two. I'll keep opening it intermittently. Or maybe we'll put it in the Grove bag, so I'll see what I've got for storage actually. Maybe I'll put it in a Grove bag for 2 or 3 weeks and let that cure out. But for now, that's it, trimmed. I'm gonna go and blaze a joint and we'll get on to the next one. And here is all of this one left after it's been trimmed. And there we go. That's both plants, PMZ and the Queen of the South. Total weigh in, 23.4. There's a bit of stems in there as well. There's probably still a little bit of moisture retained, so we'll probably lose maybe, a few grams. So we're just shy of an ounce. It's not the end of the world. It's not a bad harvest. It smells all right. I just need to let it get cured off a bit more now. And we'll get that in the jars, and then we'll keep burping that daily. So that's about it. 14-day dry. It's been roughly 65-70% humidity in here, and it's been definitely over 30 degrees non-stop. But I think when you're dealing with higher temperatures, the better thing to do is to make sure the humidity stays a little bit higher. That way you can slow your dry down, and hopefully we've retained some flavour. I'll let you know in the coming weeks, but as we do only have just under an ounce there, it's time to get back to work. So now that the drying tent is empty, let's get the 4 plants from upstairs down into some bigger pots. Alright squad, now we've got the buds in the jar, 62% humidity and around 30 degrees. Can't really make it any colder unless I put it in the fridge. Maybe that's an option, but 62% is not bad for its humidity, so we'll keep that in the dark, and maybe we'll keep it in a drawer or in a box or something, whatever. Either way, we've got the buds. Next, these are the new. We've got blue sherb. If you remember that from the last episode, that was really dodgy. It was looking like it was crumbling and it couldn't really get out of its shell. Look at it now, sorted. Candy from Cookies, looking excellent. This was the healthiest one of the 4. At the back here, we've got the lemon cherry sherb. That's also from Cookies, looking really healthy. And we've got the RS11 cross Kush mints. So we're going to get these 4 into these 4 1-gallon fabric pots. And now that the drying tent is empty, we're going to get these in there. Right, there we go. The next 4 in line. Get the last label on here, Candy by Cookies. That's it. Next round, ready to go.